Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer and our friends. Today our group will present to you the topic about environmental costs and benefits. Okay, information about environmental costs is very important to organizations committed to sustainability. Environmental costs can influence estimates of product and process costs, which can inform managers' short-term and long-term decisions. The definitions of environmental costs is the cost that organization incurs to prevent, monitor, and report environmental impacts. And they also can include the cost an organization incurs when it does not comply with environmental regulations, and some of which may extend well into the future. And some organizations may define environmental costs very narrowly, including only costs that have a direct effect on profits. Other organizations may include costs that result from the organization's activities and operations, but are external to the organizations. As part of a management accounting system, an organization may report any or all of these type of environmental costs depending on how managers intend to use the information. Okay, so basically, the environmental cost is the costs that are connected with the actual or potential deteriorations or worsening of natural assets due to economic activities. Okay, next, the environmental benefits. The definitions of environmental benefits is the benefits that enjoyed by the organizations from action taken to reduce the impact of environmental. Okay, next, the purpose of environmental costs. Okay, the first purpose is to comply with the law and regulation imposed by the authorities. And the second one of the purpose is to assess the feasibility of a project, whether the benefits outweigh the cost. And lastly, the purpose is to encourage the companies to conserve the environment. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Natasha binti Khairun, and now I will continue on explaining the next slide, which is regarding the 5 tiers of environmental costs. The United States of Environmental Protection Agency has defined 5 tiers of environmental costs, which is from tier 1 to tier 5. There are 5 types of costs under these 5 tiers of environmental costs, which is conventional costs, hidden costs, contingent costs, relationship and image costs, and the last one is societal costs. I will explain in detail for these 5 types of costs in the next slide. So, as for the first tiers is conventional costs. Conventional costs refers to direct costs associated with capital expenditure, raw materials, and other operating and maintenance costs. These costs can be found in the accounting systems of most organizations. However, they may not be reported in a form that can be readily used by managers to assess the environmental expenditure. These include the cost of purchasing equipment and plant that will prevent environmental impacts. The second tier is hidden costs. Hidden costs include the cost of monitoring and reporting activities to comply with regulation, cost of searching for environmentally responsible suppliers, and the ongoing cost of cleaning up contaminated land. These costs can also be captured or found in the accounting system, but may not be easy to find and report as they are often hidden in the various overhead accounts and in the cost of wages and salaries. The third tier is contingent costs. These costs includes costs that may be incurred in the future depending on the future events. These costs can be recognized within an organization's internal report. They are also disclosed in the notes to the financial statement included in the external financial reports. But this cost is only being disclosed if there is a high probability that the organization will be obliged to pay these costs in the future, and if the amounts of the costs are material. In external reports, these contingent liabilities are often limited to costs that may arise from existing legal actions. The example of these contingent costs is the cost incurred to clean up contaminated sites. The fourth tier is relationship and image costs. These costs reflect the perceptions of various stakeholders, which are rarely measured in standard information systems and are difficult to measure objectively. These costs are intangible by nature, and its benefit relate to the consumer perceptions and employee and community relations. The examples of these cost is the cost of preparing the annual environmental reports. The last tier is societal costs. These costs are the costs that organizations impose on others, environmental and society, for which they may not be held legally responsible and which cannot be compensated in legal system. These costs are very difficult to recognize and measure because of the cost of estimating the impacts and the need of specialized environmental knowledge in order to do so. So the example of these costs are the costs incurred by harming the environmental and natural resources, like the forest degradation. So basically, the first 4 tiers can be described as private costs, as these are environmental costs that directly affect the profit of the organizations, or a cost for which the organizations can be held legally accountable. I will now pass to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Afiqah binti Zulkifli. So I will explain about the importance of environmental costs. Okay, so let's move to the importance of considering environmental costs for the company and why the company adopt this cost and its benefit. Okay, currently, the increasing in public green awareness from the consumer has encouraged businesses to consider environmental effect of their activities and also to take into consideration this matter for the decision making of the business by ensuring the business complies with environmental regulation and adopts environmental best practice that can benefit the business for the sustainability in its industry. Okay, so one of the importance of adopting environmental costs is the company can increase improve their reputation to the customer by portraying themselves as environmentally responsible. This practice can set the business apart from the competitors and attract the customer who are eco-friendly. For example, the Body Shop is one of the skincare and perfume company who against animal testing in cosmetic industry and strive to produce the naturally beauty product. Hence, they gain attention from the customer and investor. Okay, other than that, by considering the environmental costs in practice of business can help the company to reduce waste and cost. The company who manage to increase energy efficiency can save the utility costs when they encourage reusing existing material in creative way, which means that fewer money is spent to purchase a new stock to create the product. At first, the company will incur the extra money to be spent establishing green business procedure, but it will save a lot of money over time. Furthermore, most states and countries have implemented environmental compliance to be followed by the business to protect the environment. In order to avoid penalties from the authorities, the company should follow the law by considering the environmental costs in their business. The penalties include fines, increased liability to environmental taxes, loss of sale, and consumer boycott. Okay, next I will pass to the next presenter, Shazwan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shazwan bin Abdul Halim and I will explain to you about the advantage and disadvantage of cost-benefit analysis. So I will start with the advantage first. The first advantage is it is a data-driven. Cost-benefit analysis allows an individual or organization to evaluate a decision or potential project free of opinions or personal bias. As such, it offers an agnostic and evidence-based evaluation of your option, which can help your business become more data-driven and logical in how it operates. Besides that, by applying environmental cost and benefit, it makes a decision simpler. As we all know, business decisions are often complex by nature. By reducing a decision to cost versus benefits, the cost-benefit analysis can make them less complex. Lastly, uncover hidden costs and benefits is also one of the advantages of environmental cost and benefit. Cost-benefit analysis force you to sit down and outline every potential cost and benefit associated with the project, which can help you uncover less than obvious factors, such as indirect or intangible costs. Okay, now let's look at disadvantage of environmental cost and benefit. So for the first disadvantage is potential inaccuracies in identifying and quantifying costs and benefits. A cost-benefit analysis requires that all costs and benefits be identified and appropriately quantified. Unfortunately, human error often result in common cost-benefit analysis errors, such as accidentally omitting certain costs and benefits due to the inability to forecast indirect causal relationship. For the second one is market imperfections. Cost-benefit analysis work best in a regime of perfectly competitive markets with a large number of sellers and buyers, none of whom are in a position to dominate the market. But this condition is hardly met in actual practice. There are monopolies and there are governments whose interventions distort the market further. Hence, market price need to be adjusted before this can be used for cost-benefit analysis. Last but not least, quantification of intangibles is also one of the disadvantages of environmental cost and benefit. Attempts made to measure items of value that are generally unmeasurable remain approximations and cannot be a perfect representation of the true value. The use of value, judgment and assumption become unavoidable. Thus, the quantification of intangibles is particularly susceptible to manipulation. That's all from me. I will pass to Alisa. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Alisa Suraya binti Zulkifli and I'll be presenting the examples of companies using environmental costs and benefits. The first company that is still using environmental cost benefit is IKEA. IKEA is a Swedish origin Dutch headquartered multinational conglomerate that designs and sells ready-to-assemble furniture, kitchen appliances, home accessories and among other goods and home services. Although this household brand is better known for its ready-to-assemble furniture and houseware, IKEA is also one of the leaders in sustainable industry practices. The Swedish company sources almost 50% of its wood from sustainably harvested forests and 100% of its cotton from growers that meet the Better Cotton Standards. These standards propose reduce energy and water use as well as regulate the use of fertilizers and pesticides. IKEA uses more than 700,000 solar panels that power its stores around the world and has announced its goal to be powered by 100% renewable energy by the end of 2020. The second company that is still using the environmental cost and benefit is Starbucks. As we know, Starbucks has never been shy about being a socially responsible corporation. They are well known as the company that does the community involvement and ethical sourcing initiative. Nowadays, customers, when grabbing a coffee to go, many people choose disposable coffee cups that contains maybe 5% of plastic, which makes recycling difficult and infeasible. Which is why Starbucks started to develop an eco-friendly cup that should double the recycled content and reusability by 2020. On top of that, this company is also known for buying 100% ethically sourced coffee and making coffee the first globally sustainable agricultural products. Starbucks has also pledged to provide 100 million healthy coffee trays to farmers whose plantations have suffered because of disease and climate change. That's all from me, thank you.
Okay, as for the conclusion, the business nowadays experience rapid, increasingly diversified economic growth. This economic development was supported by considerable
pressure on some natural resources in many sectors such as mining and agriculture. The environmental policy has been strongly influenced by concern of human health, and international trade causes the business to adopt the policy for their sustainability. The company should spend their money on the four categories in order to be an eco-friendly organization, and also the 5 tiers of environmental cost that has been explained by Natasha should be taken into consideration. In making decision for the business, we need to consider our environment and how it will be affected by our decision. It is important to all the organization to take into consideration on the environmental cost and its benefit in order to sustain their business as well as to protect the environment. Cost-benefit analysis will give the management a clear view on how to make a decision while protecting our environment by analyzing the cost and the benefit that they will earn from the project. Okay, that's all. Thank you.